What's up, everybody? So, 1K subs. Finally doing the special. So, first of all, holy crap, thank you. I can't believe we even made it this far. Yeah, it's been a crazy journey, man. Starting out with just my little speed runs and stuff on this channel, and then doing a little bit of randomizer stuff, and then hitting it off a little bit down the road, and everybody kept showing up, and everybody's super cool. And that's something I wanted to address, which is like, I can't believe this actually, because something about the community. All right, okay, bye Fury. When I was first starting to get more and more subscribers, I was hearing from a lot of people who do YouTube that right around the 300 to 500 mark of subscribers, you start getting a lot of like negative comments. Like, that's when all the assholes roll in and stuff. And it's funny because once I hit that amount, I kept waiting for that to happen, and waiting and waiting and I'm still waiting at 1,000 and something subscribers. I still haven't gotten negative comments, and like, not deeply negative. Like, it's one thing to talk about like my gameplay and stuff, but like, I haven't gotten any insults. I haven't gotten like, and even the criticism I've gotten has been like light on, the stuff that I play and everything, and my commentary and all that stuff, or it's just been, very supportive. This community is like super mature, like, and I'm happy about that. Like, and I don't know what ages everybody is. I mean, I could check my analytics and stuff, but I don't really care to all that much. I'm just happy everybody's here, and everybody enjoys the content. And so, with all of that being said, Fury Cat, you have 1,000 subscribers. Really, let's be real. I mean, Fury is the reason everybody stuck around. I mean, this is his channel, right, buddy? Yeah. Anyway, all that being said, we're gonna chill for a little while, and I am going to answer the questions that you left on my 2024 update video. So, without further ado, let's just do it. So the first one here, we have malicious intent. What's your thoughts and opinions on making YouTube shorts for stuff on your channel, since it's helped get exposure out there better for other content creators? And I'd love to see your channel get more love and attention. So, the thing about that is, the reason that I don't do shorts is because there's a time limit, from what I understand. It's like a minute, like just 60 seconds. And yeah, I like doing these clips and stuff I've been doing lately, because I don't have to cut anything I don't want to, right? And that's why all the clips are like different lengths and stuff, because I don't want to be in the position where I'm like looking to make a short and I'm cutting out parts that I think are good from the clip that I could otherwise upload as a video to be 60 seconds long. So that's why I do clips rather than shorts. If there happens to be one that ends up under 60 seconds, like there were a couple of the clips that were, I should probably make them shorts, but yeah, I haven't really looked into doing it all that much. So yeah, there's a chance I'll do that in the future, but as for right now, I like making the clips, and I like making playlists with the clips in them. So yeah, we'll see. Thanks for the question. All right, Black Omen, very good question here, and not surprising from you, buddy. What is one video that you're the most proud of that you've ever made so far? So before I answer that, make sure you go and subscribe to Black Omen. He also plays Beyond Chaos, and he's a really cool dude. Check him out. Very, very good friend of the channel. The video I'm most proud of that I've made so far, if we're talking just this channel, it's really hard, man. It's really hard to choose. In a way, it's less about a video. Maybe it would have to be a series or like a playthrough. Because it would have to be T Edition. If we came right down to it, it was FF6 T Edition. The whole series I was incredibly proud of that series. But if we're talking about single videos, I would 100%, well, maybe not 100% say, I don't know. I think it's kind of a tie for different reasons between the All-Stars finale of Beyond Chaos and the Fallen Stars finale. So let me explain. So because of the All Stars finale, when I went in and I said, okay, Lorelei and Granny are going to have to fight. I cannot phone this in. This is the 20th seed. I need to absolutely sit down and make sure that this fight is bad as hell. And I did. And that was before I had like a whole lot of editing knowledge as far as how to make things move around and stuff. But I kind of did camera tricks where I would like change the positions of characters in the finale and like switch the camera back and forth so it looked like they had moved, or had to use teleports and stuff like to make it look like it and stuff. And I was super proud of that finale, especially just forcing myself to be like, okay, this has to be a good fight. And I got to use freaking Still in the Dark, the track from Guilty Gear that is like one of my all-time favorite video game tracks, definitely one of my all-time favorite fighting game tracks. And yeah, it was just super cool syncing up the fight with the music and stuff. I was really proud of that video, and I rewatched it a bunch of times myself just to be like, wow, I can't believe I made this fight look so cool. And then Fallen Stars for a similar reason, because I leveled up even further in the Fallen Stars finale, where I finally taught myself how to move sprites, have them be animated and moving without just jumping around. And yeah, that took the longest to edit because it was such like a level up. And once I learned how to do that and I got faster at it, I was like, okay, cool. Every single fight in this finale has to be done like this because I want it to be awesome. And the writing for that one was super fun too, because every character in that run was super interesting and had, lore that I could bring back from old seeds and stuff and use it for that finale. And that, it's so funny, dude. The character endings, especially the one where Forza comes out and punches Bannon into the front window of the Supum's shop, and he slaps into it and then slides down. Oh my god, I have watched that part of that finale more than anything because I think it's one of my funniest edits I've ever done. But yeah, that would probably be the one that took the cake over the two. So yeah, probably that video. And then of course there's other contenders, like honorable mentions are definitely my speedrun videos. Like I 6th place record speedrun on here, Breath of Fire 2, and then my Ogre Battle speedruns, and then the Zero Project speedrun for Mega Man X3, the ROM hack that I developed like basically the meta for getting through stages in that as fast as possible, because no one had ever run that game as a speedrun before. So I came up with all that, and that was like the first video on this channel. You can go back and watch it and see little baby Two-Tone playing it, or well, commentating it, excuse me. But yeah, there's a ton of videos I'm proud of. And if you want to go even further, we talk about BraverGrave, which was my first channel, and that one that I shared in the Discord not too long ago about how to build a good fighting game work ethic. That one I'm super proud of, because it allowed me to like share a lot of information that I just had trapped up here of years and years of playing fighting games. And somebody commented and gave me a ridiculously good compliment, saying that this the video gave them like Brian F vibes. And if you don't know who Brian F is, he's a really, really good Street Fighter player, really good fighting game player in general. And yeah, he does a lot of analytical talks and stuff about fighting games, and he's really, really good at it. So I was pretty humbled by that one. But anyway, yeah, so that would be my answer to your question, Blackcomb. Probably the Fallen Stars, the most second to last, most recent seed. So okay, Bleed Black. I'm glad you're doing an audiobook for Zero, which begs the question, if you had to choose anyone else to do the narration for your books, who do you think would be a good choice? Obviously, I couldn't get like somebody from LibriVox to do it, because like they do like classic stuff, mostly like H.P. Lovecraft, Arthur Conan Doyle, stuff like that. I would love LibriVox to do it, anybody from there. But I also had a guy, he's my buddy Denny Mays, and if you ever look up Wolfsbeard, it's a badass metal band. He's the guitarist for it. And he's also got a podcast. I think it's, God, I don't remember the name of it. It's something like Kentucky Paranormal something. But they just hang out and talk about like weird crap that's like urban myths and stuff about Kentucky. Super cool. But yeah, he had offered to do it for free without me even thinking about doing an audiobook at the time. He just said, I would love to do it, and because he really liked the book. So he did a chapter and sent it to me, and he sounded great. Like, his voice was awesome. He's got a professional studio. After that, it kind of fell off. His band kind of got a lot more gigs, and then the podcast got some traction and everything, and then he's in another band and all that stuff, so he couldn't get around to doing any more of it. But I would really still love him to do it because he sounded so good. But yeah, that's pretty much the only choice that I would pick, other than myself. Used to be Monclair Bullying, not a question, but a comment that I have to say out loud. Good luck with the audiobook. Everyone buy Tony's other books too. Thank you, number one, and yes, buy my other books. It'd be freaking awesome. I love people reading my stuff, and I would just love, honestly, more than anything when it comes to my books, even outside of just buying them, obviously, but like, I would just love to actually chat with people about the books after they read them. Like, people who have all the context, have all the story and everything, and just like asking me questions and stuff about the book's story, because that's at the end of the day, that's what the book's about, like the story. It was so fun to write, and I like to know, probably my favorite question to ask people after they read my book is like, who is your favorite character? Because I just gotta know, who's your favorite character? And there's so many different answers, and I love that, because that means that the characters I wrote were dynamic enough to appeal to a lot of different people, and it's super cool. But yeah, if you've read the books, please hit me up on Discord and BS with me about them, because I would love to get into like specifics on certain parts and stuff. Okay, Drain Damage. Which Final Fantasy game would you like a direct sequel to? If none, then which other game? Also, why? Love the content. Congratulations on the 1,000. Thank you. So, I actually brought this question up to my buddies, and my best friend Jared brought one up that I had not thought about, because I can't really think of a direct sequel to a Final Fantasy game that I would want. So, but he did mention Tactics, Final Fantasy Tactics, which is kind of cool, a cool idea, considering you would get to see how Ivalice like rebuilds itself after all of the the crazy shit happened with like Altima and all the Shrine Knight stuff and the Lucavi, and whatever happened to all of the people from the Death Corps, and maybe Olin would probably be around still. It could even do a huge time skip and be around when Alizlam is like going on, because if you remember the story, like, Ramza is seen as a traitor and a heretic for, like, was it like 100 years, 200 years, something like that, until Alizlam, like, publishes the Durai papers. So, like, it would be really cool to, like, maybe we follow Alizlam on his journey to, like, show the truth, right? That'd be pretty cool. As far as another game, I did choose one. Breath of Fire 3. Direct sequel would be great, because, as you know, at the end of Breath of Fire 3, spoiler alert, it's a very old game, when you defeat Miria, the whole reason why the Desert of Death didn't spread to the rest of the world and just overtake everything is because Miria was keeping it where it was to protect her children, which were the people of the world. And yeah, like, you defeat her because you're basically saying humans aren't that, we don't need a babysitter, we'll survive. And she's like, I don't think you will, blah blah blah. So yeah, you defeat her, and now the desert is going to spread. And that famous scene at the end where Ryu and Nina and them are walking out on the desert, just the idea of the desert spreading to the rest of the world. And there's just some cool things you could do with that, like visiting the places that you were before, like Windia and stuff, but now the sandstorm is coming in and people are struggling to survive and everything. That'd be really, really neat. Also, side note, so there's still a Guardian out there. He might be turned to stone, though. This is the only thing that I'll say about that. In the Angel Tower underneath, there's 4 tombstones, right? Remember, that have like Gar and Geist and then 2 other Guardians. Well, we see one of them turn to stone in Urkentapa. We defeat Geist ourselves, and he turns into ashes. And then Gar turns to stone once Miria dies, because he got his power from Miria, and when a Guardian's power goes away, they turn to stone. So there's a fourth one out there that we've never seen. And yeah, I would love to know what happened to him. There could at least be a story about what happened to him in like a direct sequel to BOF 3. I don't think we'd run into him though, because he's turned to stone. If we did, he would just be a statue. But yeah, that would be pretty neat to bring that in, because that's a loose end, you know? Pretty cool. And then there's the obvious choice of like a Chrono Trigger 2. But Kato would have to be involved, and they won't let Kato get involved ever again with Chrono Trigger, so it's not going to happen. But I will say that the ROM hack put together by the Chrono Compendium and all those guys, Crimson Echoes, was very good. So I would recommend playing Crimson Echoes. That's basically Chrono Trigger 2. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. All right, Irish Wolf, what encouraged you to get into writing, and any tips to give to help out starting writers? As far as what encouraged me to get into writing was my family. Like, what got me interested in writing when I was younger was video games, and seeing like the crazy stories that cropped up from it. And also at the time I was reading Brian Jacques, who wrote the Redwall series. Basically like medieval stuff, but with like rodents and things, and it kind of reminded me of The Secret of Nim, which was like my favorite movie when I was a little kid. And so yeah, I read a lot of Brian Jacques, and then I started reading Stephen King as I got a little older, and H.P. Lovecraft and all that stuff. And I read a lot of manga too. That's really what got me into it. What encouraged me to do it was I would write these little stories when I was a kid, and like my parents, my sisters, they were all amazed at like the fact that I was like this young and I was writing these full-length stories and stuff. And they just kept telling me, just keep writing because you're good at it. And I just kept going and going and going and honing it over time. And here I am with 3 published books, self-published, but published nonetheless. And then as far as any tips to give to help out starting writers, read a lot. Read a lot, because you will, like, by osmosis, just from reading a lot, understand how to structure a story and how to like write your sentences and paragraphs to build tension, or to like a perfect example is like if you want somebody to be like anxious, right? You do a lot of short, fast little sentences, like sometimes one word sentences with one word period, where they're thinking, and like you don't say like he felt scared in this strange place, right? That's just a descriptor. But if you say like he was horrified, terrified, even what was around the corner, like shit like that, like little quick sentences, you build the reader's tension, right? Just little shit like that I learned over time. And yeah, like you learn that from reading. So yeah, I just say read. Also, when I first started writing, I've started with fan fiction, like 100%. Chrono Trigger fanfics, Zelda fanfics, stuff like that. And I never did a Final Fantasy one. But anyway, yeah, you take an already established world and you write your own story to it. And then you realize, wait, I made a lot of changes for this fan fiction just to make the story my story, but with their characters. Well, if I can do that, why don't I just make my own world, and I can control everything instead of just taking someone else's idea, you know? So that's what I'd say. Like, nothing against people who write fan fictions, but it's like that was the stepping stone where I'm like, I need to just create my own worlds and characters instead of doing this. And there's still like whisperings of it, like in Zero, the main character's name is Marco and his wife's name is Fiona. That's my toss back to Chrono Trigger, right? So there's still like little subtle hints about stuff, like where my inspirations came from and everything. But yeah, like it just build your own worlds. You get to create what you want instead of what someone has readily made for you. So yeah, good question. Very good question. Willens Nunez Oliden. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Do you know about Fear and Hunger? Would you play it? I would love to see you play it. I have never heard of it. And as far as like playing stuff on the channel, it really comes down to what I'm interested in. Half the time, like, yeah, sometimes I'll listen to like suggestions from you guys on what to play, or I'll ask for them. But most of the time it's just whatever I feel like, and most of the time it's Beyond Chaos, if I'm being real with you. Thanks for the question, though. Bloodstrike, what would you say was the moment of realization that your channel was taking off and picking up traction, and you thought, holy crap, this is getting real? T-Edition. 100% T-Edition. That just started bringing in so many people. Like, I think I started somewhere in the 20s or 40s subscribers before I got into that series, and by the time I was halfway through playing T-Edition, I think I was up to 300 and something. So, like, that's just what brought everybody in, and they stuck around for the Beyond Chaos content and stuff, because I mean, after watching me play T-Edition and hearing all of, like, the references I make to Beyond Chaos and stuff while I'm playing it, I'm sure people were curious, but yeah, that definitely was where I was like, holy crap, maybe I need to, like, focus on doing this more now. And I have, and look where we are now, 1,000 subs. Let's go. So yeah, I'd definitely say that was the moment when I was like, okay, it's getting a little bit real now. Twist of Fate. If your books were made into a movie, who would you want to direct it? I don't know jack shit about directors, so I don't know. I have no idea. And also, if my books were to be bleh, coffee. As far as, like, if my books were adapted into something in a different media, like a different art medium, like film, I would want it to be a series rather than a movie. There's too many things that can be left out when you just make a movie. But with a series, there's a shit ton of stuff that you can leave in and things you can add to a series. In fact, it's almost required to fill a certain amount of time per episode. So yeah, I would definitely want it to be a series more than I would want it to be a movie, but I have no idea who would direct it. You got me, man. That's one area that I'm not very learned on. Fatal Fury, what are some YouTubers, podcasts that you watch or listen to you would recommend? Okay, so I'll start with fighting games here. Lord Knight is one of my favorite, it maybe is my favorite all-time fighting game player, but he has some really cool videos, and he's just a super chill dude. You know, there's the usual suspects like Maximilian Dude, Sajam, those guys that have been around for a while that are really, really good content creators for fighting games too. Brian F., like I mentioned earlier. Diaphone is another really good one. And then Makoto Fox too, plays Melty. Super cool dude. And yeah, just super chill videos and stuff. And then so as far as like music stuff goes, you know, most of the music YouTubers that I watch, if I go to them, it's to like learn something, like just to hone something on guitar. You know, maybe it's a lot of the time it's just a random person I click, but I do like Marty Schwartz a lot as far as like if I want to learn a little bit more blues stuff than I already know, because blues is palette town for me when it came to guitar. Like the blues was where I started, blues and like country stuff. So yeah, Marty Schwartz is great for that stuff. I like Music Is Win is another good one. That dude's cool as shit. Rick Beato is awesome too, just like how he breaks down like songs. He's got a series called What Makes This Song Great, and he like just will take any song and talk about why it's so good. I definitely recommend the first one that I listened to by him was he did the breakdown of If You Could Read My Mind by Gordon Lightfoot, and I love Gordon Lightfoot. R.I.P. He was one of my favorite folk guitarists ever, and I still love his music, and I have learned a lot of it. But yeah, he broke down If You Could Read My Mind. That was the first one that I watched by him, and it was like, this is awesome how he's like pointing out all the little nuances and things, and why there's minor falls and major lifts and all this stuff, and like fifths and everything. It's super cool. If you're a theory nerd, and even if you're not, it's just neat to listen to him go over these songs. He did Comfortably Numb also. He's done some interviews with people like Brian May, freaking Tommy Emmanuel, oh my god. And yeah, and just he's a cool one. Speedrunners, Dragon Blitz. I watch Dragon Blitz and Jupiter Climb for Castlevania speedrun stuff because I love Castlevania. I tried to run Dracula's Curse on NES years and years ago, but I sucked, so I didn't do that. But yeah, watching their videos is super cool. They mostly do randomizer stuff these days, but they will still try and play like the vanilla game for certain world record categories and stuff, which is super neat. ZFG, also the OOT speedrunner, amazing runner, and his streams and stuff are really, really chill. I'll always watch Markiplier. I've been watching that dude since he started, like way back in the day. And yeah, I've never not watched Markiplier. Like I don't watch him. I don't watch his stuff like every time he puts something up, but I will just like, what's Markiplier doing? Give me one video from Markiplier, I'll watch it. And I probably won't come back and watch him again for a couple weeks, but I always enjoy Markiplier content, 100%. So. And then as far as political stuff, Majority Report mostly is what I watch, because I love Sam Cedar. Emma Vigeland is cool as shit. Like, their entire setup is great. It's just an old boomer liberal with a bunch of, like, far leftists working for him, which is great. I love the dynamic between all of them. So yeah, most of the time I'm watching Majority Report when it comes to politics. All right, a very intrusive. What are your thoughts on expanding into other classic games? Lufia and FF7 Remake as examples. It would be great to watch. Thanks for hours of entertainment. No problem. I'll get to FF7 a little bit later, because there is another question that has to do with that. But I did play the remake, and I enjoyed the remake. It was pretty cool. As far as Lufia, everybody and their mother is telling me to play that game, and I'm just not feeling playing a brand new game I've never played before right this second. So that might be a little bit far down the line. Also, Bahamut Lagoon has been teased on this channel for over 3 years now, I'm pretty sure. And every time I load that game up to think, like, maybe I should do the playthrough of it now, you know, I've been talking about it for so damn long. I start playing it, I'm like, nah, I don't really feel like it right now. And I end up playing FF6 instead. So that is a problem, I know. But, yeah. As far as other classic games, I am not certain. Actually, there is another question, too, that I'll address with this one, too. Brad Hunt says, will we ever see you long play any other FF vanilla games on the channel, like 1 or 2? So I'll put these two questions together. And why the hell not? We'll put Swift Red's question on there, too. How much coercion would it take to get you to play FF7 on the channel? So all of these are basically the same question. I'll address them all at once. I do think that I would love to play that Final Fantasy 1 Renaissance thing that everybody keeps telling me about, because it's like an updated version of FF1, which is kind of cool, because I don't want to play the NES version. I don't want to do the pixel remaster version of it, because honestly the music is just too abrasive for me. Like, they made, for whatever reason, they made the FF1 battle theme just like operatic as hell and like just big bandy, and it just hits my ear wrong. So I'm not interested in playing the pixel remaster of that, but I would like to try that Renaissance thing, I think. And then as far as 2, no thanks. I've played 2 enough times to know that it's just a grind game. It's literally just sit there and grind and get your freaking spells leveled and all that stuff. It's very not fun. So yeah, you probably won't see 2 on here ever, but 1, yeah, probably there will be a playthrough of 1 eventually. As far as FF7 goes, there is a reason why I don't play FF7 for the channel. Number 1, I don't really, have much of a desire to go back and play FF7, so it has to hit me at the right time, and I never really wanted to play it for the channel either. And so you guys already know my opinions on FF7. They are not very popular, number 1. Number 2, it's one thing, for me to address it in, an FF6 video, or, offhandedly talk about, what I don't like about FF7, amorphously. But when I'm playing through the game, and obviously people who are coming to watch Final Fantasy VII are coming to watch because they're fans of it, and then they hear me start, pointing out the things I don't like about it, I don't want it to be a bad experience for people watching, because, again, people respond to you much better when you are doing something you enjoy, right? And it's not that I don't enjoy FF7, it's that all of the cool things about FF7 are so obvious and apparent that I wouldn't be pointing them out very much. But when I did have a criticism, I would harp on it. And I don't want, number 1, I don't like myself when I talk badly about a game, especially because there's such a cult following for that one particularly, and people take it really, really personally when you don't like it, or you don't like something about it. Because I like FF7, there's just things I don't like about it. But when you are encountering people who are coming in to watch you play a game that they consider to be a perfect game, like, and you've got me sitting here saying, this sucks, that sucks, this is a dumb part of the game, this is like, you know, it's not fun for me, it wouldn't be fun for people watching either. So yeah, that's mostly why I haven't played it for the channel. It's the same reason why I wouldn't play Final Fantasy VIII. There is a good chance I'd play Final Fantasy IX, because I love that game. I would not play 10, I don't think. I would play 10-2, I think, because 10-2 was fun as hell. But outside of that, yeah, not so much. So yeah, thanks for the questions, guys. This FF7, I explained that deeply. Lufia, I know that I have to play, but that will probably be a while too. I can't promise anything on that one, unfortunately. But yeah, thank you guys very much for those questions. Soulblade, when it comes to playing fighting games, which do you prefer, fighting against the computer or a human player? Easiest answer in my life, human. 100%. That's what fighting games are for. I like the idea of playing against people and testing my skill and stuff, and you know, getting better by playing against people that are way better than me. And then like long sets and stuff, first to 10s, first to 20s are what I live for in fighting games. And plus I used to go to tournaments and stuff, so like that was what it was about, was getting better, going to a tournament and kicking ass, or getting wrecked, going you know, 0-2, and then coming back and like getting out of pools and stuff. Just the improvement is what matters to me, and seeing my own improvement. And you don't get that fighting against the computer. Like, yeah, you might, you know, get better at beating the computer, but what does that really do? You just learned how to exploit something against the computer that the AI is like, I don't know what to do. You know, like sweeping somebody 40 times because the computer just doesn't know what to do about it. Like, yeah. So always fighting people is way more fun. Chrono Broken, do you have any tattoos? If not, what would you like to get? I do not have any tattoos. I have always coasted on that Dave Mustaine quote, you don't put a bumper sticker on a Rolls Royce. It's a little bit conceited, but you know, no, I did consider getting a tattoo for the longest time, but I could never decide on anything. Like I wanted to get one like right here, and it was like, of course, the first thing I thought of was the Triforce. And then later down the line, when I played a lot of Melee, I thought about the falchion from Fire Emblem and stuff, because I played Marth. You know, I also thought about the Umbrella Corporation symbol from Resident Evil. I've thought about a lot of stuff, but I'd never take the dive on it, I don't think, because I don't really care for it. I did also think about getting, I wanted to get, like, right here, across here, I wanted to get the Shoryuken input symbol, right? But, yeah, I saw some horror stories online when I was looking up tattoos that look like it, and the tattoo artist put the wrong inputs on there, and it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna chance that. So, yeah, no, I don't have any tattoos, and I don't plan to get any anytime soon. Blastbeat, favorite comedian? You've mentioned Carlin and Mitch Hedberg. Are there any others? There are so many others. Norm Macdonald is one of my favorites of all time. And then, as far as recent guys, Bill Burr is really cool. He's not really recent, he's been around for a while, but yeah, I like Bill Burr. And then Stephen Wright is amazing. One of like the best one-liner comedians ever. Speaking of one-liner guys, Rodney Dangerfield, also big fan of his. Just, you know, all the pun style comedians are super cool. And then like observational humor guys, obviously, like Carlin is so much better than so many comedians that are out there now and were out there then, but that's just an untouchable dude to me. Also, Richard Pryor was fucking awesome. There's just too many, man. I love my comedians. I'm trying to remember who that guy was. I never remember his name, but he did like a whole bit about Street Fighter to a crowd that, you know, kind of would know what Street Fighter was. I don't know, but he was talking about Street Fighter, and he was talking about how in the background of every Street Fighter stage there's, these guys are fighting up here, but back here there's commerce. He was talking about the China stage in Street Fighter 2. Like, there's guys riding bikes, they're trading chickens and stuff, and they're just looking up going, oh, they're throwing the fireballs again. Anyway, how much for the chicken? Like, this guy was great, man. I wish I could remember his name. Also, Josh Blue. Josh Blue is awesome. He joins the ranks of comedians that you can't do their comedy because it's just so offensive to do it yourself, but he is amazing. He has cerebral palsy, and he plays off of it so well, and he's you can just tell the confidence he has when he makes these jokes is so good, man. But anyway, I watch a lot of comedians. Okay, Sync. I don't know if you mentioned it, but what's the name of your band? And also, do you like playing electric guitars or acoustic? So the name of my band is Dead Timber. It's a two-piece. We've been playing guitar together for a very, very long time. We actually started in a metal band, and that metal band was named Slagra after the monster from Castlevania. And then now we play acoustics, mostly, and it's Dead Timber because we play a lot of acoustic, like very much like Walking Through the Desert kind of tunes, like stoner rock, I guess you would call it. Yeah, we play both, and we bounce back and forth. Mostly nowadays we play acoustics, but I have a Fender Jaguar, and it is super nice. I don't get to play it too much anymore unless just by myself. But yeah, I like playing both, but acoustics right now, pretty much all I play. But yeah, thank you for the question. Lord of the Pit, aside from pizza, do you have a favorite food? Yes, it would be brisket. Pretty much any kind of barbecue thing. Like, I love barbecue so much. Probably a close third after that would probably be sushi, and then right after that would be Mexican, something Mexican like fajitas and stuff. But yeah, I love me some brisket. You get me a good brisket, in freaking hog heaven, dude. Literally. Shadow in the Dark. You mentioned that your favorite color is gray. Is there a reason or some memory attached to why it's your favorite color? Okay, so that's an interesting question because I don't exactly know when gray became my favorite color, but I know it has been since I was like real little. So I think the easy answer is because Smoke from Mortal Kombat was the Gray Ninja, and I liked him a lot, and gray was just neat. And then later on, the reason I realized I liked gray was because everybody argued with me that it was a shade, not a color, and I'm like, no, it's a color. Or I said, well, maybe it is a shade. Who knows? It can't be defined. It is literally just what it is. It's between white and black. It's like right there, but it doesn't get much love. And so I love gray. I love a rainy day so much because it's just everything's gray. And, that's the time when I want to play video games. It's the time that I want to play guitar is when it's gray outside. So yeah, I like gray a lot. Every bit of this is gray. Most of my clothes are gray. But yeah, who can say why they have a favorite color in the first place? It's just whatever is pleasing to the eye to you. Right, Battle Scar. What would you say is the best piece of advice you've ever received? So I can't say that I have any particular piece of advice I've received from anyone else that I've, really taken to heart. It's mostly advice I've given myself because of life experience, like drawing upon life experience and saying, hey, do you remember when this happened? Don't do that. Do you remember when this horrible thing happened? Don't do the thing that led up to it. Things like that. Probably just being honest more than anything. Like, always be fucking honest. Like, please, I'm so freaking sick. Like, it is a deal breaker for me if someone lies to me. I don't care if it's the smallest lie ever. I will address it if I find out it's a lie and say, why did you lie to me? Why did you disrespect me enough to, tell me a lie? What about me makes you think that, if you told me the truth, there would have been some, negative consequences or something? Telling the truth, pretty much always better. And you can sugarcoat it, and there's social cues you have to pick up on and stuff to read a room and know when to say something and when not to say something. I've gotten better at that over the years. But yeah, just don't, bullshit people. Just don't be bullshitting people, man. That's like the easiest piece of advice that I've ever gotten from myself, from horrible, old stupid shit I did when I was like a teenager, where I lied or something and realized I lost friendships because of it and things. Like, just don't ever lie. Just be truthful, be honest. Honesty, self-reflection, and humility. Those are the top 3 things that make a good human being, if you ask me. So yeah, and you could add compassion in there too. But there's a lot of things that I feel like make a good human being, but those are a good groundwork. That's a good springboard. And don't be bullshitting people, man. Dark Justice Metal, link your new channel. There's a bunch of random videos with the name BraverGrave. Will do. That will be in the description of every video I put up from now on, my link to BraverGrave. And it is actually not a new channel. That one started before this one did. So, yeah. There's really, really old videos on there. But before I knew what audio balancing was and shit. So, you can check those out. And there's some newer videos, too. I should still be putting up, like, 1 video a month over there. If I keep up with it. But, yeah. I will link it in the description. Thank you for reminding me. Pilot 152, do you have any phobias or anything? I think you said flying, but I could be wrong. I am afraid of flying. It's an irrational fear. I hate it. I also do not like spiders. If they're like real little guys, like you can barely see, and they're like crawling in the corner of my room or something, I'm like, alright dude, listen. I'm not gonna mess with you. You stay over there. And just don't come near me and we'll be fine. But as far as like big, hairy, like nasty, freaking nope. Get them the hell away from me. They got hair on them. I don't want to see them. I don't want them anywhere near me. I don't want them in like a mile of me. Get them the fuck away. I will crush them. I respect life, but I will kill a fucking hairy ass spider. And that's a deal breaker. Nope. No big hairy spiders. I also have a tendency to catastrophize just everything. Which is unfortunate for me and my mental state, but I've learned to deal with it. So like I have irrational fears of like the worst happening all the time. And it sucks because a lot of it happens when I'm driving, and I drive for my job. So, I was stopped at a red light. That it actually just happened the other day. I was stopped at a red light the other day. And I just looked up while I was at the red light, and there was just a plane flying. Normal occurrence, right? And my brain made a scenario up where the plane explodes, and a piece of shrapnel flies down, comes through my windshield, and lodges itself directly in my neck, and I'm dead instantly. And it's like, why does my brain do that? I don't know, but I have to, like, calm myself down and remind myself there's probably nothing, no likelihood that could even really happen. Like, outside of, like, some Final Destination shit, Similarly, like, I was on a back road the other day, too, and I saw, like, a doe running across the road, and I always slow down and look before I go, even when that one's across. I look over here to see if there's, like, a baby following her or something like that, and when I see nothing's coming, I start going. And my brain said a big buck was going to jump out of the trees when I was pulling up and then slam into my window, and then the antlers were going to go into my face and I was going to die. So, like, shit like that, those are phobias for me, and I hate it, and I do what I can to curtail it when it happens. But yeah, I also have terrible thanatophobia just in general. Great fear of death. Like, I know it's inevitable, but, like, just the idea of the thought of it does send me into a spiral, right? Mostly when I'm trying to go to sleep. Fury just had a hairball incident that I had to clean up. So, anyway, yeah, I always envision it as a hurricane. And it's like a bunch of, like, mundane thoughts up here. And then the further and further down it goes, the closer I get to sleep, is, like, more and more negative. And then I can feel myself about to go to sleep, like, actually fall asleep. And then it gets to the eye of the hurricane, and I'm, like, getting ready to fall asleep. And then it says, by the way, you're gonna die one day, and I go, and wake back up, and I'm back at the top again. That happens to me almost every night. I mean, I know it's not normal, but, I deal with it, and I get the sleep I need eventually, mostly from exhaustion, but anyway, yeah. I I have irrational fears, and at least I'm aware of them, right? Genshin Tension. Did you have a celebrity crush growing up? And follow up, do you have one now? Yes, 1976 Stevie Nicks. And as far as do I have one now? 2024 Stevie Nicks. I love her. She's beautiful at any age, and her voice, good God. As far as like celebrity outside of music, yes, Shelley Long from Cheers, when she played Diane. Like, she's so cute. Then she could get mean, and then she was really, really intelligent on the show, which was like such a freaking huge thing for me. And yeah, she's so cute, man. Meowcat Jeff, my question is, what is the most mid character you made a story of in FF6 BC specifically? That's a good question. I can't think of a specific character, but I can say that the Desperation Trinity, that entire story was meh, right? I guess if I was talking about character, it'd probably be General Leo from Leo and Leon, because he was boring. I mean, it was just General Leo and his best friend Leon. Like, it was kind of mid. But if you're talking about like one that wasn't specifically built around a character, but the character had a story, like a subplot or something in the seed, I think maybe in the Null Stars, Sephiroth's farting problem was kind of mid. It was very funny, but it like added no character to him whatsoever. It was just Sephiroth, but he farted Mako. That was pretty much it. I can't think of any other ones right now. Alright, Backcountry 1. Here's a softball question for you. Simpsons, Family Guy, or South Park? Which do you prefer if you want your rank from most to least favorite? So, the real answer to this question is Futurama. Out of all of them, I think Futurama is the best written, like, adult cartoon series. And I will always watch it. I think another contender would be like Bob's Burgers. I love H. John Benjamin a lot. But if we're just talking these three, I grew up on The Simpsons and South Park. My stepdad still watches The Simpsons. Even he will tell you, though, his favorite is Futurama. Well, South Park, anyway. South Park was edgy. I think it appeals to, like, both sides of the aisle in weird ways. Because, like, there's one side that is just happy they're making fun of stuff they don't like, and then the other side is like realizing that it's satire. Like, I don't know, like, I think it appeals to a lot of different people, and they really, like, Trey and Matt are just that good at that, and they do a lot of social commentary, and it's always funny what they do. I haven't watched a whole lot of the new South Park episode. When they did the whole, like, Mr. Garrison, Donald Trump thing, I really didn't care about it anymore. I was like, this is dumb, I don't want to watch this. And then, like, later I saw one where it's the one at the end where they shoot the killer whale to the moon, and it's like at the end they're like, well, at least he's home now, and then it cuts to a shot of a killer whale just dead on the moon. And that's how the credits roll. And I thought that was so funny. It was actually my Facebook banner for the longest time. It was this fucking whale dead on the moon. That was such a funny episode. But I still do like South Park, of course. And then Family Guy. Family Guy, it's weird because it depends on my mood. But yeah, I do like Family Guy. And also, I have an unusual tie to Family Guy because every single time I meet somebody new, for about a couple of days, after I've known them for a couple of days, the inevitable always happens. I get looked at and they say, oh my god, I just figured out who you remind me of. And I'm like, here it comes. Here it comes. And they're like, Brian from Family Guy. I'm like, yes, I've heard that many times. Thank you. I think it's partially the voice. It might also be because I'm a writer, and I don't know. I don't know exactly what. Brian is my favorite character on the show, but he is a terrible person, unfortunately. Like that episode where Brian's trying to figure out why Quagmire doesn't like him, and they go to dinner, and Quagmire breaks down and does that whole rant of everything wrong with Brian. Quagmire is 100% right about everything he said, except for the last part. The last part, I did not agree with when Quagmire's like, you know what? Even if all that wasn't a factor, you're just such a bore. I'm like, I don't think Brian's boring. I think my favorite things that Brian does is whenever, like, the show reminds you that he's a dog. Those are my favorite moments, I think, in the whole show. Like, there was a recent episode that I watched that, like, Stewie was, like, hanging on the bottom of Brian's Prius, like, because he wants to know where Brian was going, and you just see from Stewie's perspective under the car, and the car pulls up and stops, and Stewie's like, why are we stopping? And there's a squirrel in the road, and then you just see the tires turn toward the squirrel, and Stewie's like, oh, you've got to be kidding me, and he chases the squirrel down with the car, barking while he's driving, and then he runs it over with the wheel, and he goes, yeah! That's one of my all-time favorite moments for Brian ever. That and anytime he just starts barking at someone out of it just... Anyway, yeah, I do love Family Guy, but yeah, the answer to this question is 100% Futurama. Also, another one that I love, home movies, another H. John Benjamin. I love that one. Metalocalypse, holy shit, Metalocalypse is a masterpiece of a show. Brendan Small is an amazing musician and an amazing writer. Like, it's such a good show. Just watch Metalocalypse. Mission Hill is another one a lot of people forget, but I love Mission Hill. But anyway, off of that subject. Oh, I did want to mention this too. No matter how intellectual somebody comes off as, when they're talking about, like, Family Guy episodes and how, like, deep it can get and all this stuff, everyone I've ever talked to, their favorite moments from Family Guy, like top favorite moments from Family Guy, like cutaways and stuff, is always something really stupid, including me. My favorite is when Peter says, man, this is more intense than that time I forgot how to sit down, and then it cuts away to him, like, walking up to a chair and just going and upside down on it. And then my best friend Jared's favorite clip is the one where he's standing next to the door on the plane that says do not open during flight, and he just opens it and everybody flies out of the door, and then it's just him falling, going hey. So yeah, it appeals to the intellectual and the idiot in all of us, and I love it. Oh my god, there's another one. Hold on. Another great moment when Peter, like, I guess he's been drunk or he got injured or something in the bar, and he's like, it's a good thing I can molt into another Peter, and he does it, and part of it, like, the shell comes off of him and he's like all red, and he says the only problem is I'll be vulnerable to predators for the next 20 minutes or so, and then there's just a jaguar outside the bar, and he goes, oh no, a jaguar, quick, make yourself look big. It's the stupidest shit is what makes me laugh about that show. The Simpsons also had one that got me really good recently. It's this all happens off camera. It just shows Bart standing there, and then off camera you just hear tires squeal, and then like a poof, and then you hear Homer yell, "Stupid horse! It's a deer crossing!" And then he pulls up, and he's just got blood all over his windshield. Anyway, moving on. Thank you for the question. Firefox, do you have a brand loyalty when it comes to guitars, or are you not picky? Okay, so, in a way I am picky, because as far as the guitars I want to use and play for, like, acoustic stuff, so I started with my mom's Cort acoustic guitar when I was really, really young. And then I also played her classical. It's a Yamaha classical, and it's really, really old because Mom plays classical guitar. My first acoustic that I bought was a Fender Dreadnought acoustic, and I liked it, and I still play it. But ever since I bought that Epiphone Hummingbird Pro, like the Inspired by Gibson series from Epiphone, I love that guitar, and so, like, every Epiphone I've touched since then, I've enjoyed playing. But yeah, that Hummingbird is so nice, and it's very bright. And then, so my newest guitar is actually I can get it. Hang on a minute. Yeah, this is my newest guitar. This is the Inspired by Gibson Epiphone. It's the EJ200 Studio. It's got a jumbo body and everything. I had to get a whole new case because... yeah, I had to buy the case too, but this one's like, Very, very pretty, very warm sounding. Actually, I can just like pause the music there, but yeah, it's like really nice, dude. I love this guitar. Very, very nice guitar. Yeah, Epiphone's just a great company, and they're on the low end. Like, this was a $600 guitar. They go from between like 400 and 600. Well, actually, they go lower than that. I've almost got all of them. I'm only missing a Dove, I think, which I might get eventually, but I really like this one. I don't know if my mic's picking it up very well, but yeah. I'm not gonna sing because there are people trying to sleep downstairs. So, but yes, Epiphone, great freaking brand, and this is probably the one I would stick to for acoustics from now on. As far as electrics, it depends on what I'm playing. Like, I've got a Schecter 7-string. I used to have an Ibanez Geo, which actually, it was a very cheap guitar, but the neck was super nice to play. It was so fast. And then I've got my, like I said, my Fender Jaguar. It was like a $900 something 6-string electric. And it's super nice as well. It's over there. I'm not going to go get that. But yeah, I'm not really a big brand loyalty guy when it comes to guitars, but as far as acoustics go, Epiphone 100%. But anyway, that's the last question from you guys. Thanks everybody for participating. By the way, side note, if you didn't know, there's a meme contest going on in the Discord. We only have 3 entrants, and the top 3 get paid out. So, well, not paid out, but they get prizes. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, I'm extending that until we get at least like 10 entrants, because I don't like the idea of 3 people enter, 3 people win. We need more people. So if you guys have any Final Fantasy VI memes that you think are funny, that is your own original work, throw them up in the Discord memes channel. Check it out in the link in the description below. All the rules will be in that channel also for the contest. And yeah, I just want to see some fun FF6 memes, and or BC or me. It doesn't matter as long as it's about Final Fantasy VI in some way, or the channel in regard to FF6 in some way. You will qualify. So yeah, I want to do that because that's going to determine how I do my next bingo seed. So as far as what's coming up next on the channel, I have already rolled a new Beyond Chaos seed. So that will probably be the next thing I do. I was just waiting until I got this video done to start playing it, so I'll probably start playing it pretty soon. And then after that, I'm not sure, because usually after 2 seeds back to back, I get a little burnt out. So I jump back to something else, but we will have to see. I hope everybody enjoyed this video. Funnily enough, this is the second time I've done this video, because despite having 1,000 subscribers, big, freaking YouTuber here, the first time I did this video, I was muted the whole fucking time. So I just had to do this one all over again. I did mention more things this time than I did last time, so yeah, it's apples and oranges. But yeah, anyway, thanks you guys for watching. I will hopefully not be muting myself ever again on accident. So I cannot thank you enough for 1,000 subs, and neither can Fury Cat. Right, buddy? You're thankful too, right, Fury? You say thank you. He looks like he's not having any of this right now. Go ahead, dude. Run away. Anyway, I will see you guys again soon. And here's to 1,000 subs. Here's to 1,000 more. Here's to 5,000 more. Here's to 10,000 more. Thank you guys so much. Also, join the Discord. If you want to support me directly, check out Patreon in the link in the description. Check out my books too. They'll be down there. BraverGrave will now be down there as a link. Just as an aside, I don't know what's going on, but I keep hearing from people that some of my old videos are getting ads on them now. And yeah, I was kind of the philosophy that I didn't want ads on my videos for a while. But as long as they're putting them on there already and getting a cut out of it, I'm not getting any revenue from any of that. So I might look into monetizing here soon, but I will definitely let you guys know before I do that. So thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.